The online world is not safe. Internet users are becoming more and more vulnerable. But the fact is that we cannot imagine our life without the internet. Why? Because it has made our lives simpler and better. But what we can do is be vigilant, exercise caution, and adopt necessary safety measures to stay safe online.
Your every account should be two-factor authenticated. Every account. If it is not two-factor authenticated, assume it is hacked. Second, that learn techniques to scan things. For example, if you are offered an e-commerce link or any such threatening link from police department or RTO that you have been penalized for some violation, or passport office, you get such kind of links. Always verify this on whois.domaintools.com. Mask Aadhaar card is important. So they normally mask all other digits and just show few, so that it should not be misused. Similarly, you should understand the importance of your digital IDs. You should not share each and everything so easily, conveniently to anyone. If you have to share it on a digital form, share low resolution images, and always write something on top of it, that why you are sharing it, for what purpose you are sharing it.
Many of us use free charging stations to charge our phones, be it in cafes, at airports, or other public places. Unfortunately, it's not a good idea to use these freely available USB charging outlets.
So we call it juice jacking technique, where normally criminals, they use a chip and that is placed behind these charging plugs, USB charging plugs. So I think you should always prefer the normal charging options, the power plug that we traditionally use. But if there is a USB socket and you have to charge, then you should look at the screen first, that after plugging it, is there any pop-up, is there something which is happening on the screen? So with Wi-Fi, if you are connected to an open Wi-Fi system, free Wi-Fi system, they can also do the same thing. So we call it man-in-the-middle attack. If I am connected to the same Wi-Fi and you are also connected to the same Wi-Fi, I can conduct a MITM attack where I can see your traffic and I can see your passwords or whatever you are doing on internet during that time. So these are some known vulnerabilities. Because of that, I request people don't do any sensitive activity on internet if you are on public Wi-Fi, like financial transactions or any personal communication which is really private, or official communication which is really sensitive. Avoid doing it on public Wi-Fi. International transactions should be disabled when you are in your country and you are not traveling, so that at least you have reduced the risk that somebody could use it out of your country. Because if it has happened, it's very difficult to catch them. And second thing, whether you should use browser or app. Native apps are always tested on a continuous basis against these kind of threats. Native apps means the app, those are offered by banks. So they offer you apps and they say that you install it. So they are always conscious to make it more and more secure. So your browsers are mostly vulnerable because you don't upgrade them to the latest version and fix their patches. And that's why it is always a risk when you are doing the same financial transactions through browsers. There's no guarantee that your browser is updated, and it may not have a plugin which is stealing your banking passwords or stealing your OTPs.
Prevention is the best cure. Do not share your OTP with any unsolicited person that you are not aware of. Secondly, be very much aware about what kind of apps are installed on your phone. Thirdly, do not answer any unsolicited call that you are not aware of, particularly video calls, as it might be a cybercrime perpetrator.
If you happen to fall prey to a cyber scam, make sure you take the right steps.
They should call 1930 and report the cybercrime, and also report it to the nearest police station. And they should also share correct details, because a lot of time what happens is, due to lack of sharing of correct details, the investigation gets hampered. So immediately they should share the details of the account from which the amount has been debited.
1930 has a power to block any account for 48 hours. So if you realize instantly that, oh, you have done some mistake, you have transferred this money to a wrong account, just call 1930 immediately and request them to block this money to the other account where you have transferred it. Second, you should file a complaint online, www.cybercrime.gov.in, where you can file any cybercrime complaint. It could be financial fraud, it could be women and gender related issues, social media crimes, any crime. If you want to be anonymous, there is a provision. You can use that provision. Third is you should also inform your bank, which is really very, very important, because RBI says that if you inform to your bank within 3 days, bank is liable to pay you everything. So you should not wait. You should either through email or submitting a physical request to the bank, you should immediately inform your bank that this fraud has happened and you have lost this money and you are seeking this money back from the bank, mentioning the RBI guidelines.